What's up, guys? Welcome to another Rise of Kingdoms video. Today, I will go over the list of all cavalry commanders with you guys. I will rank each and every one of them on how well they perform in mass PvP. I will go to each commander and assign each of them a score for attack, a score for defense, and a score for support. Commander will be ranked at the end based on their total score. So what criteria I use to get commander points? I can share with you guys the criteria that I use. So for defense, you get 1 point for 10% health, 10% defense, 5% damage reduction, every 500 damage factor shield or heal, 10% attack reduction, every 2 seconds of silence, and for attack, you get 1 point for 10% attack boost, 500 damage to a single target, 300 skill damage, AoE damage, 10% normal attack damage, 10% counter attack damage, 10% skill damage, and 5% damage increase. So those will give you 1 point. I will be sharing the criteria in the description box as well, so you can look at them later. So we also, for the purpose of ranking commander for mass PvP, we ignoring skills that have anything to do with garrison. We also ignoring the march speed. I do think march speed can help in mass PvP, but it's just not that significant enough for me to take it into consideration when it comes to assign commander scores. So let's go right into the first cavalry commander. We have Genghis Khan. So his first skill, he can deal 1700 skill damage. So we say 500 skill damage for 1 point, 700 skill damage, he get 3.5 points. Let's see, where is it? Okay, so 3.5 points for his first skill. His second skill, he get 100 rage requirement reduction, which we say 200 rage for 1 point. So 100 rage, we gave him another 0.5 points. So we have 3.5 plus 1 second. Should I put it over here a little bit more here? So maybe you can see better. All right. So cancel. So we got 3.5 plus 1 plus 0.5. Also, his active skill only require 950 rage instead of 1000. So another 50 rage reduction. So we gave him another 0.25 points. Let's look at his third skill, 30% damage increase. So we gave him 6 points because I say 1 point for every 5% increase in damage. But it only works when he is above 70%. So it's only work 30% of the time. So that leave him with 30% times 6, which equal 2 points. So he got 2 points in attack. Let's look at his fourth skill. 30% skill damage increase gave him 3 points, but it only works when he is below 50% of health. So 3 times 50%, which gave him another 1.5 points. Oops. He also get 25 rage over 10 seconds, which can give him up to 250 additional rage overall. So he get 2 points, but it only works when he's below 50% health. So 2 times 50% equal 1 point. So we get another 1 point for that. You get another 1 point for that 250 rage he gained from the fourth skill. Did I say 1 or 1.5 plus 1? His expertise gave him a 30% chance of dealing another 1700 skill damage. So 30% chance of 1700 damage is about 510 damage overall on average. So we gave him another 1 point for that expertise skill. So in total for his attack, we have 3.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 2 plus 1.5 plus 1 plus 1, which gave him a total score of 9.75 attack. So his attack score is 9.75. His attack score can be a little bit higher if you know how to use him well, like refresh the march as soon as he below 70%. If you can manage to refresh his march as soon as it gets below 70%, his attack would be slightly higher. It would be 3.5 plus 0.5 plus 6, because you can manage to get that 30% damage all the time, and plus 1 from his expertise, which will leave him at 11.25. That his highest possible score that you can get him. That's if you know how to play him well. That if you can manage to refresh his march as soon as he go below 70%. You want to utilize his third skill. You get 30% damage increase when he is above 70% health. Another thing about Khan is that you should always avoid using Khan to fight when his HP is yellow. Why? Because from 70% to 50% HP, his attack is horrible. Two of his skill, the third skill is not working, and the fourth skill is not working either. So two of his skill are ineffective when when his health is from 50% to 70%. That's why it's always best when you play Khan on the open field. Try to refresh his march as soon as he hits yellow HP. For his defense, Khan doesn't have any defensive skill, so he gets 0 for defense. For support, he doesn't have any debuff or any buff either, so he doesn't get any point for support neither. So his total score overall is attack 9.75, defense 0, support 0. If you know how to play him well, you can get his attack up to 11. So let's go to our tier list and we'll rank him. So this is our tier list. We'll put Khan from 10 to 12, because depending on how you play him, you can get him from 9.75 to 11. So he in the range of 10 to 12. Now let's go to the next commander. The next commander we have is Cao Cao. His first skill, 1400 skill damage, active skill damage. That we say 500 for 1 point. So that gave him about 3 points in attack. So first we got 3 points here in attack, and what else can we give him? He also have a 30% attack bonus right here, 30% carry attack bonus. So we gave him another 3 points, because we say every 10% attack bonus, we give the commander 1 point. So 30% is 3 points. Let's look at his fourth skill. He can restore rage 100. So which he has 10% chance to trigger this skill. So 10% chance to get 100 rage. So this is about 50% of the time. So we gave him 0.5 divided by 2, which is 0.25 points for this 100 rage restore. His expertise gave him a 25% attack. So we gave him another 2.5 points for attack. So in total, he get 3 plus 3 plus 2.5 plus 0.25, which leave him at 8.75 for attack. Let's look at his defense. So first skill, we got a 4% attack reduction for 3 seconds. Yes. So we say 1 point for every 10% attack. So 40% attack reduction, he get 4 points. But it only lasts for 3 seconds. So about 30% of the time. So we gave him 4 times 30%, which is 1.25. So we get 1.25 points in defense. He also has that 10% chance to heal 1,000. So he got 2 points for 1,000 heal. But like only 10% chance to trigger this skill, which is about 50% of the time. So we got 2 times 50% equal 1 point. So we gave him another 1 point in defense. Let's look at his expertise skill. His expertise skill decreased defense by 10%. So we had to subtract it from the total defense. So we minus 1. And now he end up with 1.25 plus 1 minus 1, which leave him at 1.25 defense. For support, he has that attack debuff, attack reduction 4%. I will say before it's for 3 seconds, so about 30% of the time. So we gave the support 1 point. So we get another 1 point for support. So Cao Cao overall score is attack 8.75, defense 1.25, and support 1. So which gave him a total score of 11. So Cao Cao has a total score of 11. So let's go to the tier list. Let's go to the tier list and we will rank Cao Cao at 11. So 10 to 12. So he from between 10 to 12. Let's go back to the game and we'll go to the next commander. Next commander we have is Takeda. So let's look at his attack, defense, and support score. We set it first for a second. All right, so for Takeda, let's look at his active skill. Normal damage taken 50%, so 5 points, but it only has 50% chance to trigger, so it comes down to 2.5 points. Max of 2 turns, which is about 20% of the time. So 2.5 times 20%, which is equal 0.5 points. At like this is for a level 5 active skill for Takeda. Very, very low, very low score. Takeda active skill is not something you actually need. What you need is just the debuff duration, like the 4-second debuff. You don't really need the effect. Takeda is one of the commanders that I don't recommend you to max his first skill. First, he can do wonderful with just level 1 first active skill. So this skill can live at level 1 and he's still doing fine. You want to get his second, third, and fourth skill up first before his active skill. So if you get Takeda, you definitely want to get him to 1 right away, and then you just start like putting sculpture on him. You want to level either his second, third, or fourth skill. They provide much better buff. His active skill is one of the worst for legendary commander. So for his active skill, he only get 0.5 points. For his second skill, he get cavalry attack bonus 40%. So we gave him 4 points in attack. And what else does he have? His expertise skill, 30% normal attack damage for to enemy who have been debuffed Fierce Fire. So 30% normal attack damage gave him 3 points, but only for 4 seconds when the active skill is activated. So which is about 30% of the time. So we got 3 times 30%, which gave him another 1 point in attack. So he get another 1 point in attack for his expertise skill. So for total, his attack is 4 plus 1 plus 0.5, which gave him at 5.5. So his attack is 5.5. Let's go to his defense. Takeda has a 4% defense bonus, which gave him 4 points in defense. 4 points in defense. He also able to heal 150 over the course of 4 seconds, which is a total of 600 healing. We gave him another 1 point in defense for that 600 healing. So plus 1 more points in healing. His force skill, he got a 5% skill damage reduction. We say 1 point for every 10% skill damage. So he got 0.5 point for that 5% skill damage reduction. So we got another 0.5. And okay, so this is a tricky part here. When taking damage, there is 10% chance to reduce normal attack damage taken and counter attack damage taken by 25% for 3 seconds. So 25% normal attack damage reduction gave him 2.5 points. 25% counter attack damage reduction gave him another 2.5 points. So total, we got 5 points. But this skill only lasts for 3 seconds, which is about 30% of the time. Only 3 seconds. So like 30% of the time for 5 points. So we got 5 times 0.3, which gave him another 1.5 points. 1.5 points in defense. So for defense, we have the total of 4 plus 1 plus 0.5 plus 1.5, which leave him at 7 in defense. One thing you need to keep in mind is that if he gets swarmed, the more frequently he will get that 25% normal and counter attack damage reduction. So his defense score can go a little bit higher in mass PvP, depending on how many target attacking him. Support. He doesn't have any support skill. He had no debuff nor buff for allies, so he stay at 0 for support. So Takeda total score is 5.5 plus 7 plus 0, which leave him at 12.5 in total. So let's go to the tier list, and we'll rank Takeda at 12.5. So he can be at 13 to 15, as I said before. His defense can get a little higher depending on how many target attacking him. The more target attacking him, the higher chance of him to able to activate the defense, the normal and counter attack damage reduction buff more frequently. That's why he go a little bit higher than his total score. Let's go back to the game, and we'll go to the next commander. The next cavalry commander we have a Pelagius, an epic commander. Let me reset the score 0, 0. So Pelagius, we got his first active skill, direct damage factor 300, and additional damage factor 300 for the next 2 seconds. So the total of about 900 skill damage. So we gave him 2 points. for his attack. 2 points for his first active active skill. He also gets that cavalry attack bonus 15%. So we gave him another 1.5 point for attack. Oh, so I forgot. So his active skill also provide him with additional 100 rage. So we say 1 point for every 200 rage restore. So for 100 rage restore, he get 0.5 points. So we got 0.5 points again on attack. So nope, nothing else. So for total, his attack score is 2 plus 1.5 plus 0.5, which leave him at 4. So his attack score is 4. What about his defense? He has at 15% cavalry defense, so we give him 1.5 points for defense. So his force skill, healing factor 450 for 2 seconds with 10% chance to activate, which about I would say 50% of the time, like 1 every 2 cycle of active skill. So 900 healings gave him 2 points, but it only 50% chance, like only once every 2 cycle of active skill. So we divide by 2. So we gave him 2 divided by 2, okay, another 1 point defense. And I don't think there is any more. So for total, its defense score is 2.5. Pelagius doesn't have any buff or debuff, I believe. Yep. So he doesn't provide any support to the allies. So we leave him at 0 for his support. So for total, its overall score is attack 4, defense 2.5, and support is 0. So total, he at 6.5. So let's go to the tier list. And we'll rank Pelagius at 6.5. So somewhere between 4 to 6. Okay, go back to the game again. We'll go to the next cavalry commander. We have Belisarius. Let me reset the score. Okay, so let's look at Belisarius' active skill. Direct damage factor 450. So he get 1 point. We say 1 point for that 450 damage, skill damage. 30% defense reduction gave him 3 points for attack, but it only lasts for 2 seconds. So it takes 10 to 12 seconds to cast a skill, so it's about 15% of the time. So we gave it a 3 times 15%, which is 0.5 points. So he get another 0.5 point for that 30% defense reduction for 2 seconds. Does he have any attack stat boost? Okay, so he has 25% damage increase for target under 50% health. So 1 point for every 5% damage increase, so he get 5 points. But it only applies for target with 50% health or lower. So I say about 50% of the time. So we gave him a 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5 points for that force skill. So that force skill gave him another 2 points in attack. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. We gave him 2.5 points in attack. So in total, for attack, he get for in attack total, he get 1 plus 0.5 plus 2.5, which gave him a total score for attack of 4. So his attack score is 4. Let's go look at his defense. Increase defense of cavalry unit by 30%. So he got a 30% defense increase. So he get 3 points in defense. What else does he have? His active skill give him a 30% attack reduction for 2 seconds. So it's pretty much the same as the defense reduction. He will get another 0.5 points for this skill. And I don't think there are any more. So he left with the total defense of 3.5. Support. Belisarius does provide a debuff on a single target. So attack reduction and defense reduction 30% for 2 seconds on one target. So let's say if all the ally march is attacking the same target, they will be benefit from that debuff. So for that debuff, we gave him 2 points. So 1 point for the 30% attack reduction and another 1 point for the defense reduction. So for his support, we gave him 2 points. So Belisarius' overall score is attack 4, defense 3.5, and support 2. And he's end up with a total score of 4 plus 3.5 plus 2, which leave him at 9.5. So let's go back to the tier list again. And we'll put Belisarius at 9.5, which is somewhere 7 to 9. Go back to the game again. So we're done with Belisarius. Go to the next commander we have is Baibars. His first active skill, 1,000 AoE damage. 1,000 AoE damage, and we say 1 point for every 300 AoE damage. So he get 3.5 points for his first active skill. So 3.5 point alone for just that 1,000 AoE skill, active skill. What else does he has? He also has that 20% cavalry attack bonus, so he get another 2 points for attack. Doesn't have anything else. So for his attack, he got a total of 5.5 points. 5.5 points for attack. Defense, the only defensive skill he has is a healing factor of 200 when he leaves the battle, which doesn't get triggered a lot, and the healing amount is very minimal. If I have to give him a score, I would give him a score for defense of 0.125. And support, he doesn't have any debuff or buff, so there is really no support score for him. So he had a support score of 0. And overall, Baibars has a total score of 5.5 plus 0.125, which is 5.625. The total score of 5.625. So let's go back to the tier list, and we'll rank Baibars from 4 to 6. Okay, let's go to the next commander we have is Attila. Okay, Attila is a little complicated. Like a lot of, like, you need to do a lot of calculation to come up with his score. So let's say his first active skill, 30% normal attack damage increase, 30% counter attack damage increase for 4 seconds. So 30% normal attack damage, we gave him 3 points. 30% counter attack damage, we gave him another 3 points. So the total of 6 points. But it only lasts for 4 seconds, which is about 35% of the time. So we get 6 times 35%, which is 2 points. So he get about 2 points for his first active skill. Let's go to his so this is the garrison skill. We don't need to worry about it. His third skill give him a 4% attack bonus. So that another 4 points in attack. So we got 2 plus 4 so far. Anything else here? Okay, let's go to his fourth skill. Another very complicated skill. So we have when the army led by Attila continually cavalry unit, normal attack has chance to increase his own troop or damage dealt for the next 2 turns. Has 25% chance to increase all damage by 50%, and another 25% chance to increase all damage dealt by 100%. So all damage increased by 50%. We gave him 10 points. All damage increased by 100%. We gave him 20 points. So the total is 30 points. But only 25% chance to trigger. So we got 30 times 0.25, which leave him at 7.5 points. And from my own testing, this skill effect worked about 50% of the time. So Attila gets 7.5 times 50%, which is 3.75 in attack for this skill. So just this 4 skill alone, he get 3.75 in attack for just this 4 skill alone. Let's look at his expertise. Against enemy troop with less than 50% strength, increase damage dealt by 20%. So 20% damage increase, you get 1 point for every 5% damage increase. So he get 4 points for that 20%. But it's only work on target with less than 50% health. So we got to divide that by half. So 4 divided by 2, which leave him another 2 points for his expertise for attack. His expertise also provide him immunity to silence. So we gave him a 0.25 point for that skill. So his attack total is 2 plus 4 plus 3.75 plus 2 plus 0.25, which leave him to a total score for attack of 12. So his attack score is 12. Let's go to his defense. His first active skill, 50% attack reduction up to 4 seconds with a 50% chance. So 1 point for 10% attack reduction, so 5 points in total, but it's only up for 4 seconds with 50% chance. So is that about 20% of the time? So we got 5 multiplied 20%, which gave him 1 point in defense. So his first active skill gave him 1 point in defense. Plus, he also have 15% skill damage taken reduction. So we say 1 point for 10% skill damage. So 15% get him another 1.5 points in defense. And I don't think he has any other defense skill. So that with the total defense score of 2.5. Support. That first active skill, enemy attack reduction 50%, can be very beneficial on the open field with mass PvP. Your allies can benefit from this enemy attack reduction debuff. So we gave him a 2 points for this support. So support, Attila get a 2 points. So Attila with a total score of attack 12, defense 2.5, and support 2. And add them up, he has a total score of 16.5. So let's go to the tier list. And let's put Attila from 16 to 18. Very, very high attack commander. Another reason why he is used very often in KVK, because of his attack is very high. Probably the one with the highest attack for all the cavalry commander at the moment. And we not even taking like consideration into the garrison. Like we didn't even look at his garrison skill yet. And he already has that 12.5 attack already. Very, very high attack skill commander. Now you understand why Attila is being used so often in KVK, because his stats is very, very high. So let's go to the next commander. We have a Saladin. Okay, Saladin is a very straightforward commander. We don't have to do a lot of like crazy calculation. His active skill 1700 damage. Um, so we say 1 point for every 500 damage, right? So 1700 damage gave him about 3.5 points in attack. He also has that 20% cavalry attack bonus. So we gave him another 2 points for attack. So in total, he get a 3.5 plus 2, which is 5.5 points in attack. Let's go to his defense. For defense, he get a 20% defense bonus, so that gave him a 2 points in defense. He also has that 30% skill damage taken reduction, so that another 3 points in defense. 20% counter attack damage reduction, another 2 points in defense. And that leave him with a total of 2 plus 3 plus 2, which is 7 points. 7 points total for defense. Support, I don't think he provide any sort of debuff or buff. Healing effect reduction only work for Richard, so we just ignore it for now. If I had to give him a support score, this is more like an attack, I think. So we just ignore it for now. But like his score could be a little bit higher. Like his total score could be a little bit higher if we take in consideration for the healing effect reduction 40%. But for now, we just ignore that skill for now. So Saladin, total score, attack 5.5, defense 7, and support 0, which gave him a total of 12.5. So we go to the tier list. We'll put Saladin to 13 to 15, because I say 12.5, but we didn't take in consideration for his healing debuff. Like it might work, situational. So his score could be a little bit higher. That's what I'm trying to say. So even though he 12.5, he could go up to 13. That's why we put him at a 13 to 15 rank. Okay, let's go back to the game again. And I think we're going to reach our last cavalry commander, which is Minamoto. Someone that you have to buy one of the VIP chests to get him, if you have him expertise. If you have him expertise. Here are the score for him. So his first skill, skill damage 1400 plus 1200 with 75% chance to trigger at expertise. So 1400 plus 1200 times 75%, which is 900. So the total skill damage from Minamoto is 2300 skill damage, which leave him at 4.5 points in attack. So Minamoto could potentially do up to 2300 skill damage in one turn on average, 2300 skill damage on average. So that leave him at 4.5 point attack. He also has a 20% attack bonus, so he get another 2 points. Another 2 point attack. What else do he has? normal attack have a 10% chance to increase damage taken by the target by 30% for the next 3 seconds. So 30% damage increase, we gave him 6 points, but only have 10% chance to trigger for 3 seconds. So about 30% of the time, he will able to have that 30% damage increase. So we will say 6 times 0.3, which equal 2 points. So we gave Minamoto another 2 points for attack. And for total, he has the attack score of 4.5 plus 2 plus 2, which is 8.5. So 8.5 score for attack for Minamoto. He doesn't have any defense. He does not have any defense boost. Yep, no defense boost, and he doesn't have any debuff or buff either. So his final score is attack 8.5, defense 0, and support 0. So we go back to the tier list, and we'll rank him at 8.5. So 7 to 9. So you get Minamoto score, and you're like, oh, why Minamoto score is lower than Belisarius? So we have Belisarius at 9.5. Let me check real quick. I forgot what his total score is. Yes. So Minamoto total score of 8.5, and Belisarius with a total score of 9.5. Then how come a legendary commander have a lower score than an epic commander? Well, in a 1v1 situation, Minamoto is definitely better than Belisarius. But when it comes to mass PvP, Belisarius can provide much better support for the team. So he got that additional 2 points for support. That's why Belisarius is a better choice to bring to a mass PvP if you want to be a more support role. If you just want to get more kill, then Minamoto is what you want. You can bring him because he have a higher attack, higher offensive skill. So that's the reason why Minamoto have a lower score than Belisarius when it comes to a mass PvP. And I think that is it for all the legendary commander for Cavalry. So we can go to the tier list again. At 16 to 18, we have Attila. 13 to 15, we have a Takeda and Saladin. From 10 to 12, we have a Khan and Cao Cao. From 7 to 9, we have a Belisarius and Minamoto. From 4 to 6, we have a Pelagius and Baibars. So this is a ranking for Cavalry commander in mass PvP. It might be a little bit different when you pick commander for a rally. So, but this is what you're looking at when you want to pick who's the best commander you want to bring to a mass PvP. As you can see, Attila is number 1. So definitely try to get him if you can. Otherwise, you should definitely invest in Takeda or Saladin. Those are the second best choice. And I hope this video can give you a better understanding of which commanders can perform better in mass PvP, and maybe can help you decide on who you should invest your universal sculpture on. If I am a cavalry commander, a cavalry players, I would definitely focus on Takeda and Saladin, because Takeda and Saladin is very versatile. For Attila, even though Attila attack is very high, you need a second commander, which is Takeda, to work with him, because when we rank Attila, we rank him using his optimal pairing. We did not take into the consideration of his 30% skill damage dealt by it. So skill damage against troop led by Attila reduced by 15%, and the skill damage dealt by his own troop is also reduced by 30%. We did not take into the consideration for that minus 30% skill damage for his troops. So if you pair him with like a commander with a very high active skill damage, it doesn't work very well. So for Attila, you had to like pick a commander that doesn't do any skill damage, which is Takeda. At the moment, that's the only one. So for Attila to work well, you have to pick a commander that doesn't do any active skill damage. So to invest in him, you need to invest in Takeda as well. But if you want just to invest in Takeda or Saladin, you can use them with any commander, any commander, and they will just work perfectly. So that's my advice for you if you are a cavalry commander and you want to invest in some of the commanders. Like if you choose to invest into Attila, then you need to have a lot of golden sculpture because you need another commander, which is Takeda. But if you want to invest into like Takeda and Saladin, you don't need to. You can use them with another epic commander or another legendary commander that you already own. So that's something for you to consider. Investing into Attila means you investing in two commanders. Investing into either Takeda or Saladin means you only need one commander. So that is it for today's videos. I hope it helped you guys for all the cavalry focused player out there. I hope that tier list ranking for cavalry commanders can help you guys and give you guys a better idea of who you should be using for mass PvP. Thanks again for watching.